Welcome to my boyfriend's rants, guys.
Welcome, people. Disclaimer, you fucking savages out there. If you're gonna hit on Sarah through Instagram, be slick about it. Make sure I'm not on it. You understand that we're shared, right? You guys understand this concept, right? So if you're gonna run game, be slick about it, and also listen to the podcast, right? Spread it. Spread this podcast everywhere. Share it with your friends. Share it like gonorrhea. Give it to your mom, your dad, your fucking brother, your sister, everyone. Just fucking give it to everyone, all right?
I thought he was very sweet.
No, I'm just fucking. What's his name? I'm not gonna say.
No, but we wouldn't put his name up there anyways.
We're not gonna put you on blast with warning shots. No, I'm fucking with you, man. We like to mess with our listeners, engage with them. So if you have any feedback on things we could do better, on topics you want to hear about,
if you want to just tell me I'm hot, I'm okay with that too.
I was gonna check Sarah out because she's a narcissist. She posted pictures of all about herself on fucking. On a page.
It's okay, ladies. You can think that my boyfriend's hot too because I think he's hot.
Okay, you know it doesn't work that way.
No, it doesn't. I will cut a bitch.
All right, you know it doesn't work that way. All right, whatever. We gotta get.
We don't send tit pics, okay, or dick pics. I can't even say that word.
I take nudes. So if you want to go ahead and email me that at my boyfriendsrants@gmail.com. Okay, and this podcast is over. Fuck. No,
it's gonna soon be my ex-boyfriend's rants.
My ex-boyfriend's rants. What's today's topic?
So this is just kind of spur of the moment. It wasn't completely planned. Although we don't really plan any of our podcasts. Like nothing scripted, nothing's written down. It's kind of a freestyle all the time. But this is conforming to society and the rat race and how you have to portray yourself a certain way in certain environments so that people think of you as a certain way.
Which is it's a game we all agree to play. Like, you're born and you're told this fucking story. You're gonna go to school, you're gonna go to college, you're gonna graduate, you're gonna have a 9-to-5 or 401k, and then you're gonna retire by the time you're fucking 65, and then you're gonna enjoy your life, and then you're gonna go on vacations because you're gonna have one fucking vacation, if that, 2 weeks out of the year.
You're not going to retire until you're about 67 years old, by the way.
Thank you, annuities. Fucking God. What a morbid podcast. What I'm trying to say is that people sit in traffic for an hour and a half, 2 hours a day, sit in a fucking office, listen to our podcast, hopefully, right? But just going through emails, Facebook, Instagram, bullshit, living vicariously through other people, dreaming about tomorrow, about the next day. And you're not enjoying the now because you're taught to believe this shit since you're little. You're taught to believe to, get up, go to work 12 hours a day, sit in an office, sit in a cubicle, and then when you're 65, when you're 70, now you get to retire and you get to travel and you get to do all this shit. So it's like, fuck, man, I have to wait till I'm old and my dick doesn't work anymore. Well, except with the technology of Viagra, thank God, that I get to go out and do the. Now, that's not the case for everyone. I think people are starting to realize that it's bullshit. And they can monetize in different ways. I mean, they could make.
Which, by the way, we want to monetize on this, so share it.
Share it.
Make us popular, please.
Share it like syphilis, you sons of bitches. No, but.
Fuck.
No, but
We don't have any STDs, by the way. He likes to throw a lot of them out there.
None that we know of. Maybe one UTI, baby, right?
Oh, God.
Okay? I was peeing razor blades for a week. Oops. No. No, but
that's not true either. Gross.
Don't have to. No. Oh. Not totally true. Can't confirm or deny that, ladies and gentlemen. No, but what I'm trying to say is, because you talk about this every day. You sit in the morning, and you spaz out in traffic because some asshole cut you off, and you jump on, if you're in Florida, the turnpike. If you're in California, the fucking highway. The freeway. The freeway. You pay $5 in tolls back and forth. You do all this shit, and basically no one enjoys it. We all agree to do this because what's the alternative? Like the Purge? Like we kill each other? Like Apaches? Just raiding and pillaging and raping. That's the only other alternative to this lifestyle. I guess.
I don't know, but it's frustrating.
Yeah, because I don't have a solution. Like basically, I don't know what the solution is to have a utopia. But I do know that what's going on now is making people fat, unhealthy, cancer is high, heart disease is high, because there's for
and
instance,
no one's immune to this, by the way,
no.
Unless you really followed your heart and are honestly doing something that you love. But we have good jobs in corporate America, and we're fucking miserable. Like, this podcast is an escape to be able to talk shit and escape from that.
I actually consider sitting in my car today and turning on the AC and hon, getting the carbon monoxide up in there. All right, because it's one of those types of jobs, We'll just say that my job almost tanked the American economy back in '08. Just wink, wink, to give you an idea. The Big Short. That's what the fuck I do for a living, all right? I'm not the devil. I have a higher conscience, if you will, all right? But that being said, a lot of people work. This shit. They work for a fucking paycheck. What you look forward to is that Friday night, that dinner party you're gonna have, that club you're gonna go to, that bar you're gonna go to, and you're gonna spend a few bucks. You're gonna budget, and you have it for that. And that's the I guess the epitome of your fucking week, and week to week to week, until next thing you know, 5 years pass, 10 years pass, 20 years pass, and then you're fucking old. And you have a gut, and you have tits.
And it flew by a blink of an eye. I don't know why I can't talk today. I'm sorry, I can't get my words out of my mouth. It's been a long day. A very long day.
She can't even talk right now.
I can't even talk right now.
She wants to do this shit, sit here.
No, I do. I actually enjoy this.
But that's what happens, though. That's what happens when you start.
I'm 32 years old, and I feel like I've had way too early of a midlife crisis more times than I'd like to admit.
Way too early of a midlife crisis? Oh, I'm going to put you on blast, Jack. Welcome to the podcast. You want to jump in, sir?
Yeah, seriously, since you just want to stand there and hover.
Come
say hi.
We have a naked 16-year-old boy standing in front of us in a towel. Not naked.
What the fuck?
I'm kidding.
Seriously, you just made it sound like we're like pedophiles.
I'm kidding.
My son just got out of the shower.
He just got out of the shower.
He's being super nosy, trying to see what we're doing.
He wants to listen to all the naughty stuff adults talk about. And all the things they smoke and put in their mouth.
He's trying to be our marketing PR person. He's giving us
Jack, that's his alias, is our tech guy. He's the one that sets up this shit because we're old as fuck and we don't know anything about.
Speak for yourself. I'm not fucking old. I'm 32 years old.
No, we're young.
I haven't even hit the prime of my life yet.
We're young, but we're old. We're not old. We're not in that we didn't grow up in this generation where this comes natural to them. Obviously we YouTube how to do things, but we're lazy in that sense. Like, hey, just do it for me. Like, come on, what the fuck? Like, how to market on Instagram, how to go on Twitch, how to go on, what's the other one called?
You're the old one, not me. I figured all of this out. Twitter. I still haven't, not that I haven't figured it out, but I was never really a fan of Twitter because I feel like I can't say what I want to say in like 30 characters or less. Look,
my first phone was a Nokia, and it had the snake thing on it where you would eat and eat the snake. That was my first phone, and I was like 19 or 20 years old. So I didn't grow up.
What the fuck? Why were you 19, 20 years old? That phone came out a lot sooner than that.
Because I still grew up in the era of beepers,
Yeah, I had a beeper too, but I had a cell phone. I had the Nokia way before. You know what? I talk shit. When I had that Nokia, I was probably like 17, 18 years old.
Did you ever have a beeper?
Duh.
What did you have a beeper for, though?
Because I was fucking cool.
You were
I was
the
popular one.
I had a beeper for different reasons.
Excuse
me. Wink, wink.
You fucking slut.
For naughty reasons.
Oh my god.
For naughty reasons.
A whore. He's such a whore. You're such a slut.
Not well.
I wonder how many times we've gone out and there's just been scallywags that you've like slung your dick.
No, but listen, I wasn't slinging dick like that either at that age, and most guys weren't. So if you say you were, man, fuck you. You weren't doing shit. No, this is select few that were like the pretty boys that were banging all the little hotties. But you go through that awkward stage in life when you're like 15, going on 16. You're not a man. You're not a boy. You're like this hobbit creature thing. No. With some fuzzy hairs. You're like Frodo Baggins. With hairy nuts. And you're coming into yourself, your voice cracks and goes up and down.
When were you slinging dick? How old are you? Was this like before me?
Like when I was slinging serious dick? Like 2 weeks before I met you. On Tinder, I was making a killing. I was making a fucking killing. I was slinging the pussy like no tomorrow. Like Conan the Barbarian. Boom, boom, boom. And then I met you, baby. And that was it. It's a wrap.
And that was it? That's it? As soon as you saw me, you were like, that's it, that's the one?
It's a wrap. It's a wrap. That's how this shit started. And now we started a podcast, you see?
You said you liked my ass.
Don't you get any ideas, you sons of bitches. I know who you are. We've talked. I'm just joking. I'm just fucking around.
No, he really doesn't care. I don't care either.
No,
I thought it was funny. Although, if a fucking chick starts sending stupid messages, that's a different story, guys.
Oh my God, so hot. Huh? No, but when when you're 16, when you're that age, you think, you think, not that you think you're hot, but you're very insecure, you're very self-conscious, and you're not as self-confident. Obviously, the older you get, the more comfortable you get in your skin, the more...
That's a weird age, but that's...
Yeah.
I don't want to get into that, because that's not what we originally started with. What we were going to talk about was conforming to society.
This is my show. I can talk about whatever the fuck I want. Because I'm Axel.
Man, I don't know if there's going to be a next episode, guys. You might have a new chick co-hosting this.
So if you want to audition for the show, you can email me at my boyfriend's pants. No, but back to the rat race, right?
Yeah, and this all started because my son has, I guess,
well, we don't have to put him on blast.
No, we don't have to put him on blast. But he does things that, like, I guess I'm trying to figure out how to say it where I wouldn't give off too much. But the point is that you have to behave a certain way, or act a certain way, or even dress a certain way, depending on where you're at in your environment, so that you're perceived a certain way. Like, for example, no one at work knows that I do this. No one at work knows that I curse like a fucking sailor, because my favorite word is fuck, if you guys haven't noticed. Because when I'm at work, I'm a completely different person. I'm still in my monkey suit as I'm recording this podcast.
If we get that dildo sponsorship, you better be selling that shit at work on tomorrow. I'll
wear it around my neck.
You never wear that shit around your neck. You're like, you could
make
do
sure
so
that
many
they give
things
it to me bedazzled or like with lights.
Yeah, this thing
like fun lights.
This one even squirts. It's a security system. There's mace in it.
No, but it's serious though. We both worked and we both have careers that you wouldn't be able to talk the way that we normally talk, or not necessarily behave, because it's not like we're Harleans that you can't take us anywhere, but we can't be as open or as free to discuss things that we would discuss on our podcast.
Here's food for thought for you animals out there. Think about this. Do you act at work? Obviously, this is a stupid question, but do you act at work the way you act at home?
No, of course not. I hope not.
I hope not, right? But if you don't, ask yourself why. Right? Now, I understand that there's certain conforming standards we have to abide by in a professional setting. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, when you stop and think about it and look how silly it is, everyone's just fucking acting. It's not who you really are. It's not what you really think. Like, you don't talk about politics, you don't talk about religion. You keep it lighthearted. Granted, I mean, if you work at fucking Vape Shark or some shit or some head shop, no one gives a fuck, right? But we're not talking about you guys, or those guys out there, which, by the way, if you have that job, it's awesome.
Yeah, seriously.
But, what I'm talking about is you work say in the banking sector, right? Where you have to hold certain standards and speak a certain way, and hey, how you doing? How's the weekend? And all this bullshit. But and they know that you're bullshitting. You both know this. But at the same time, it's like it's acceptable to do so, but it's weird. It's something that we all agreed to do, and like I was saying before, you're born into this system where you're doing.
I didn't agree to. I was forced to, so that I can make a paycheck and have a career.
Exactly, because money's like paper blood. It's like you need it to live. Mm-hmm. But the point being is, we all agree to these rules. We all agree to sit in fucking traffic for 3 hours, go to work. Everyone's miserable, and we're not happy.
There really is nothing more miserable than sitting in traffic. So, I leave here at 6-something in the morning to sit in traffic for an hour and something to get to work.
Yeah.
Be there for 8+ hours to then jump back in the car to be in traffic another hour and something to then get home and have to do it all over again. And then you really don't spend any time at home with all the shit that you have to do anyways, and half of the shit doesn't get done. Because in order to do everything you want to do, you literally have to start as soon as you walk in through the fucking door. How miserable is that?
And you don't. You want to come home. You want to take a shit. You want to scratch your balls. You want to have a beer. You know what I mean?
And
you want to smoke a joint. You want to do something.
It's 8 o'clock at night, and both Adolfo and I are still in our work clothes.
Don't be so morbid about it, baby.
I'm just saying, we're still in our fucking work clothes. It's exactly that. It's a fucking rat race.
It's a fucking rat race. You're chasing a dream. Don't get me wrong, because there's some people that do. They work 15-hour days, but they're doing what they love. They're doing something they're passionate about. Whether
and that's
maybe
cool.
Art,
I
music,
envy them.
You know, or whatever. Writing a book, something. And that's different. We're not talking about that, obviously.
No.
We're talking about the punch in, punch out the clock. And we are a slave. I believe we are a slave to that clock. We are a slave to consumerism. When you go on your social media and you're posting a selfie of your fucking abs, like you want to shred cheese on that shit, or you're posting, look at my lifestyle, look what I have, look what I did, look what I bought, you are feeding into that fucking bullshit. Because in order for you to consume, you need money to spend. This is this is a nation built on that. You are taught to believe from the day you're young, you need to go buy shit that's going to give you status. The shit you own is going to determine who you are. And that's not fucking true. Who you are is more to you than your fucking car, your clothes, your underwear, your fucking haircut.
Which at the end of the day, it can be
easily
taken away.
You might have something to say. And I'm not saying don't go work and be a fucking hippie up in Boulder, Colorado. And
by the way, there's nothing wrong with being a hippie either. Again,
absolutely,
I envy that lifestyle.
Absolutely,
I wish you could jump in a van.
I wish I could be in Burning Man all fucking day if it was up to me.
That would be great.
That'd be awesome, right? No, but that's not the point. Obviously, you want to be productive and progress to something better. What that better is, I don't know. Obviously, you can get cliche and say world peace and food for everyone and all these things, but I believe what we have now, this consumer nation. I mean, it's all about consumption. Think about it. The rapper comes out, the guy comes out. Look what I bought. Look all the weed I have. Look at these gold chains. Look at these rims on this car. Look at all this shit. I bought the new Aston Martin. Whatever the fuck. You're filling in a hole. It's just for status. It's for that celebrity worship that we've all grown accustomed to. That thanks to social media. Everybody wants to be their own celebrity without doing it. What do you do? Throw a ball? Do you sing? What the fuck do you do? No, I take awesome pictures. That's it. Look at me, I'm awesome. That's what the fuck I do. And they want to do this bullshit. And again, to maintain that lifestyle, you would sacrifice. Like you conform to that 9 to 5 to get that paycheck to buy that. There's nothing wrong with consuming and buying things you want, but I think we've gotten to a level where we're so narcissistic and we worship consumerism. We worship the next iPhone, not the 6 to 7, not the 7 to 8. It's like this shit's never gonna fucking stop. And technological progression is good, but we have to find a healthy way to, mitigate that. Not mitigate. What the fuck am I saying? We just have to find a balance in life, if you will. That's my message. You need to find a balance between.
So find a hobby, guys.
Find a fucking hobby. Do jujitsu, but just be careful. You get cultish, though. Right?
I guess some places I only have experience with one, and it wasn't a cult.
Anything new you do, people get obsessed with. You notice that shit? Like you start doing yoga, all you talk about is fucking yoga. You start doing BJJ. I hate when they call it fucking BJJ. It sounds like blowjobs on the job or some shit. Like, no, you call it jiu-jitsu, call it whatever. When you start doing something, CrossFit, for God's sakes, whatever, people get very obsessed over it because they're excited about doing it. But something happens, and the reason I'm talking about this now is I'm assuming the people who listen to this, a lot of them are like jiu-jitsu heads or pot heads or one and the same thing, because for the most part it is sometimes. And they get that thing where it becomes cultish, where the instructor's here. Oh my God, I can't have a beer. Jesus Christ! I saw him at the.
I was going to ask you, how does this tie in about what we were talking about? But yeah, that did happen. It's one of those. Oh, they can't see me behaving a certain way because you have to put up a front for that person.
This is called my boyfriend's rants, guys.
Oh my God.
This thing could go 13 miles off the road. We don't have to stay on topic. I can do whatever the fuck I want.
You know what I would absolutely love? If someone would comment if they would want him to stay on topic or go 13 miles off the road.
Well, you know what happened, right? When I got home today, after I was done with the rat race, I got home and I was like, I'm gonna go outside and I'm gonna do some kettlebells. Because I wanted just listen to some shit. Because I wanted to go work out, I'm gonna go work out, release some steam.
I wanted to go to the gym.
Go to the gym, do all that shit, right?
Why do I feel like you're gonna try to put me out there or something's gonna be my fault?
So I got home and Sarah was like, hey man, what are you doing? We need to work on this podcast. We need to do a marketing strategy and all this fucking crazy shit that I don't understand. I'm like, okay. I already had my pre-workout. For you fucking gym freaks out there, you know what I'm talking about. So
I take it too. I know what you're talking about.
So right now, I feel like I'm about to go in cardiac arrest because my heart's gonna explode, right? Because it's like meth.
You can't just be the talent. You have to do something too. That's why I told you need to help me.
I'm just a talent.
Are we gonna have an argument?
Michael Jackson went on stage, he danced, and he got off. That's it. You guys do the record. You do whatever the fuck you need to do. Make me famous. That's it. No, obviously, of course, I need to work on it. Yeah, I need to work on it more. We're trying to do some intro music and all this shit. Well, I don't want to lose these fucks.
We have some pretty awesome people that gave us feedback on the podcast and gave us some pretty amazing suggestions. And one was a music thing. And I'm waiting for Adolfo to beatbox at the beginning of this. I wish that I had a recorder so you guys can see him dance. He has such great dance moves. I'm like Patrick Swayze in Dirty Dancing. I shadow dance in the fucking woods. Like I'm ready to go. I'm waiting for you to pick me up in air. Like I'm dying to do that.
That's how I got you. Like the Phantom of the Opera. I'm mysterious. Like look at his moves. Look how he goes.
You were mysterious though. You never spoke.
Exactly, the silent, strong type where you're just like, who is that guy? He's so mysterious. He's like, what does he do? If I was a crime fighter and like Batman, I can't talk to you about my other life. You're asking too many questions. It can be dangerous for you. That type of stuff. And you get turned on. You're like, oh my God, I'm just getting so wet thinking about that right now. I wonder what he does. And you walk in my closet, you see the mask, you see the bow and arrow.
A mask and a bow and arrow?
You see my utility belt.
You have a fucking bow and arrow? Out of all things to choose, you chose a bow and arrow?
It's one of the deadliest weapons in the world, baby. Right?
Oh, man. Back to the topic as far as having to behave a certain way or not saying certain things so that you can keep up with that perception of you are who you really aren't.
Do you do that at work?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm so paranoid that someone from work will listen to this. I've literally blocked everyone that I can think of from our Instagram account that I work with, or I don't want them to hear what we have to say. I can't, especially with where I work and the field that I work in. It would be some serious shit.
And that's not fucked up. Like that's why there's no freedom of expression here, I believe, because you still are restrained by the workplace. Like, why the fuck? One thing is to work for somebody, but they don't own your goddamn life. Who you are after work. If you want to...
Employers look at your social media accounts.
No, I understand. That's what I'm saying. It's fucked up. Yeah. There's no freedom. There's no freedom of expression. You can't be and think who you want to think. If you work in a place where there's a certain belief system and everyone agrees to, and you're the black sheep, you're the outsider, because you have different views or a different perspective on a subject, whatever it may be, or maybe they're conservative or liberal, or Republican, Democrat, black or white, Muslim, Christian, whatever.
Right.
I think it's bullshit that you're not allowed to express your true thoughts. Like this fucking country was the foundation of this is freedom of speech, to express, to say who and what you are.
Right, but there's also a time and place for everything, because then you have these radical left wing, right wing, and these people that say they're not neither he or she, they're just a human being coexisting on this fucking earth with everyone else. It's no.
If I'm an employer and I pay you an hourly wage to do a task, I'm paying you to do the task, right?
Right.
That's fine. So you go to work to do your task. Now, I wouldn't suggest you go and talk about religion or politics at work, because not It's going to cause friction, absolutely, which is what we're talking about now, but mainly because it's going to take you away from productivity. But after work, what the fuck do you care about what I have to say or think? I can be whatever I want. If you don't agree with it, that's your right to criticize me, as it is my right to express what I think. And that's the beauty of it. You shouldn't suppress free speech.
I'm not arguing that. I think what also happens, and I'm not for it or against it. Well, maybe so much against it because I hate the rat race and the conforming to have to fucking conform to society or your work. But you can't have... I'm trying to think of an example. I don't want to say a doctor, but like, let's say like investments, you know, like if you're bringing someone hundreds of thousands, potentially millions of dollars of hard-earned money that you worked for that you're going to retire in, do you want to invest it with someone that says fuck, shit, dick, I'm going to promote my dildo over my neck?
That's etiquette. That's just being etiquette. Again, granted, you know, there's a certain comfort level. For instance, when you meet a person for the first time, you know, like Chris Rock had a bit about it. You're not meeting them. You're meeting the representative. Mm-hmm. You know, like, hey, they're in the best behavior. Hey, how are you? I'm so charming. Look at me. That's different, though. That's just being etiquette. You know, that's a sense of etiquette. But if that person is into body art, mm-hmm. he shouldn't be judged for being into body art. It doesn't mean that he can't do your mortgage because he has a fucking nose ring. Oh my God, this guy's definitely not qualified.
No, of course, and that's where the problem lays. That there's an issue with the way that you look or you think that people perceive that you're not able to do what you're supposed to do.
Well, that goes back to the consumer thing. Think about this. And
people are so judgmental.
Well, think about this. It's so embedded in your psyche. And guys and girls, fucking email me if I'm wrong. If you're a guy and you put on a t-shirt and some jeans and you go work at a fucking head shop, right? Or you go work at a Starbucks, whatever. You know, you have something very simple. Mm-hmm. Not that you're more relaxed, but the environment's more relaxed. Like there's something that happens in the environment. Now, if you got invited to a wedding and you put on a suit, a tuxedo, or something where you need to dress up, something changes. You feel better about yourself. Like, oh my God, I have this suit. I look nice. And now the cologne on, look at me. You take pictures, selfies, look. And then you get all the comments. Oh my God, how hot you look. Women, the same thing, right? You go to work, you look cute. You have your little t-shirt. You have a nice little top, whatever. Dress up to go out to a bar or a nightclub. Mm-hmm. Oh shit, look how hot I look. Look at this. Something changes in you. And I believe that happens because you're taught from childhood, it's in your psyche. It's like you feel better. Like, oh man, look at this. I feel better that I'm wearing this or I'm having that. And there's nothing wrong with wearing or having things. I just think it's wrong when you, what's the word I'm looking for? You obsess over it, right? Where it becomes to a point where you cannot express yourself outside of work because you think that when you go home, your boss or the manager is going to see it and is going to think something less of you. You should not be. No one should think less of you for what you think. No, as long as you're not hurting anyone else or doing damage to the world or to yourself. But short of that, like, you have the right to have your opinion and lifestyle. No one should dictate your lifestyle or what you should think. You are sovereign over your own mind, you know, and that's why people, they conform. They go along with the bullshit. They march to the same tune of music. They do things because that's the only thing they know. They don't ask the question, hey, why the fuck do we do this? You know, why did we all agree to do this? You know, they just go along with it because they think, oh man, someone's going to judge me, think less of me. And as I'm not saying, oh, you shouldn't give a fuck about what people have to say. Obviously, if you're fucking smoking meth, maybe you should listen to somebody. But, you know, if you're an atheist or something like that, let's say you're an atheist and you work in an environment where your coworkers, your peers are deeply religious. Let's leave it at that, you know? And now you don't want to touch on this. And they all, during lunch hour, they pray or they invite you to some type of Christian workshop or, you know, whatever, something of that nature. You could go, you could be friendly, you could respect their beliefs, their observance, as you could bow your head down in silent meditation, but
That doesn't mean you have to believe.
That doesn't mean you have to believe. That doesn't mean that doesn't mean that you have to, like, man, I don't want to tell them what I really think because they might think less of me. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so that's what I'm trying to say.
You shouldn't have to hide or...
You shouldn't have to conform.
Conform for someone else.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
And their beliefs and what... Because I don't know. It's a double-edged sword. Because it's one of those that... When... The only time that I'm not who I really am is when I'm at work. But everywhere else, for the most part, this is me. But I can't act as me at work.
Granted, what I'm trying to say is you're having at work, I believe, superficial conversations or disingenuous conversations where you're not being intellectually honest when you're having a conversation in the lunchtime about whatever subject matter.
That's why I eat in my car, guys.
So look, this is what I'm trying to say. I'm for freedom of speech. I'm for self-expression. Like, for instance, you have the protesters, the neo-Nazis protesting. I believe they have the right to protest and express their beliefs, and you have the right to call them a fucking asshole. That's your right to. Mm-hmm. But you shouldn't suppress their voice no more than they should suppress yours. The answer is not less speech, is more speech, is more freedom. So that's the message I have today. And on that note, Sarah's fucking beat. She wants to go take a shower, do her hair, do all this shit. She doesn't want to be on this fucking podcast right now.
I'm listening to your rant. I'm being the good girlfriend. I'm letting you take control of this entire fucking show, taking it 15 miles off the road and not even complaining about it. I'm just letting you do you.
You're letting Axel...
I am sitting here just looking pretty for you.
You're letting Axel do a solo on Patience and just whistle away. Mm-hmm. I can't do it. I can't do the fucking whistle.
Oh my God, I'm sorry if you hurt your ears,
guys.
Oh,
I'm so sorry. I was trying to do the intro to Patience. It didn't work out. But on that note, since we're a little beat from the fucking rat race, sitting in traffic, screaming at people, raving and ranting like fucking lunatics on the road.
That's Adolfo more and he'll put down his window and do it. I'm more of like, I'm gonna cuss you out in my car, but I'll honk the horn when I need to. But I can't, because I always got the crazies.
I beat the fuck out of my 16-year-old senseless. Like, yeah.
I don't know how the airbag hasn't popped out on you yet. But I for whatever reason, I'm a magnet for crazies, just men in general with relationships or on the road. I've had a guy get out of the car and beat on my fucking window.
That's fucking crazy.
Try to fight me. Yeah. What was the other one?
That was a guy, the limo driver.
Yeah. There was another one, though.
I was going to buy Sarah a boot pistol.
What's a boot pistol?
Like a pistol you put in your fucking heel.
Oh, I can't put mine?
Or you put it in your underwear like a tavern whore, like those brothel prostitutes from the West, like the Wild West, like those Western, brothel girls. The cowboys in the room, and you take out that one-piece shooter, pow! You son of a bitch. Or some mace or some spray. Or
no, like I'm scared of mace because I'm scared that I would spray myself before spraying someone else.
Or some ninja stars or like that.
I'll take fucking ninja stars and nunchucks.
What something like that, like a samurai sword, or maybe that's too much. Maybe
no, all three of those.
Or maybe
I don't even want the gun.
The taser, the fucking 10,000 volt, fucking like Batman.
I used to have a taser, but the taser is like one of those like you have to like already hold. Like, you have to kind of suspect something's going to happen. Like, at the moment, if something or someone comes up from behind you, it's not like you can react, pull out your taser from your fucking Mary Poppins purse, like mine, and tase someone without tasing yourself.
If you're a man or a woman, if someone gets off, like, in the middle of the road, like, it's coming down to that, I don't care who you are, man. You'll be like, oh my God, this shit's really going down. Let me get my weapon. Let me get my fucking...
Yeah, you'd be scared. But
you'd be
by the way,
man.
jiu-jitsu for women is fucking amazing. I'm not saying I can take down any man. I'm not saying I can take down a man, but at least I can defend myself than a person that doesn't know anything. And if I don't want a guy between my legs, he's not going to be there.
I would agree. I would say that the best martial arts in the world is any grappling art. Jiu-jitsu, wrestling, something where you can subdue the other person, because it's not going to be like I know every guy fantasizes about the same. They walk into the nightclub something happened. They grab the girl's ass and you uppercutted one guy. You know, it's like it's crazy.
Really fantasize about
this is a
things?
crazy movie that goes in your head, and someone comes up to you and you say some like some Spartan line like, "Just a day's work." Some. Yeah.
Are you like the star of your own action movie?
You're the star of your own action movie in your head. Every guy's done this, and someone's listening to it right now and being like, "Yeah, I know." Right? But in reality,
you guys are losers.
That's not how it goes down. Your heart rate goes up. You start to fluster, and it's like, "Oh my god, here we go!" And you puff your chest out like a peacock. But I would say jiu-jitsu is the best one because in reality, first, jiu-jitsu is everything Aikido claims to be. Remember Steven Seagal movies and he's like, "I'm gonna grab you up and snap it and fuck you up," and all this shit. But it's the only grappling art where you could do live sparring at 100%, and you get so used to the grinding and to the uncomfortable positions that if ever the unfortunate event happens where you do have to get in an altercation and defend yourself, you're born with two lines of defense. The first one is your legs, and because you could always run. The guy pulls out a gun, a knife, whatever, you could run the fuck away. If someone physically grabs you, what it always comes down to, because no one's gonna box you like fucking Floyd Mayweather out there. Like they're gonna tussle at some point.
Yeah.
They're gonna grab you.
It's gonna end up on the floor.
It's not gonna end up on the floor, but someone's gonna grab you at some point. Somehow you guys are gonna like clinch. When that happens, you're already used to that because you've done it 100 fucking times on the mat.
Yeah.
So, this is my world. I've been here. So your chances of survival go up, and you don't have to hurt the other person necessarily. I mean, you could fuck them up, but you could control the scenario, the situation better in time for someone to get there and hopefully break you apart.
Right.
Granted, the fantasy in everyone's head is like, "Oh, I'm gonna finish the fight," like George St. Pierre, But in reality, street fights are just awkward and uncomfortable, and you're on pavement and your clothes, like it's not the best.
But it's super beneficial for women though.
And
honestly, it's for self-defense for a woman. Yeah, absolutely.
Because you don't have to be. That's the beauty of the art too. That you don't have to be the strongest. You just have to be technical. Just to know what you're fucking doing. So a chick,
it's just a matter of knowing how to move.
Yeah, 120-pound chick can strangle and kill a fucking 200-pound guy. And ask anyone. Test me if I'm wrong. Like it can happen. That's legit. That's 100% real. Go on YouTube. There's videos. You could see it. It happens. That's why. That's
how we fell in love, guys.
Oh, don't tell them that fucking story. I was trying to assault Sarah and she came and she got me in a rear naked choke and I woke up and next thing you know, no.
I nursed them back to health and we fell in love.
Yeah, but on that note, we're 37 minutes in. That's a little bit past our time. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any requests, any feedback, you can email.
Any topic suggestions.
You can email us at
myboyfriendsrants@gmail.com. And we're on Podbean. So YouTube, Podbean, and more to come. Hopefully iTunes soon. Adolfo figures out how to do it.
I have to figure out how to do that shit. Oh, yeah, and we'll put out more content out there. Again, tonight, we're a little bit tired. We just came from work, the rat race. That's what we want to do it on the rat race because we just fucking beat. But thank you for listening. Again, what the fuck am I saying? I don't know. I'm just sitting here waiting to listening to what's coming out of your mouth. This is like the goodbye that never ends when you're trying to say goodbye to your relatives and you hug 10 times before they go out the door. Oh, bye, bye, bye. And you talk again. Bye, bye, bye. It's like one of those fucking things. But thank you guys for listening. Tune in again and see you next time. Good night.